wise solid speaking. First person, and please let me know if I'm clear. Or better yet, loud enough over the music. Of course, you guys see the title. Subscribe to the channel. Click the thumb as well. Visit my website, upscaleknowledge.org. Check out the lecture magazines. As well as my pricing plans. Now, can one of you guys let me know if I'm clear, please? Peace and wisdom, Marcos Alvarez. Now, like I said, wise, solid speaking. The humble servant. The sex symbol. I don't have any filters. I don't have a makeup person. And this is all natural. But this is what they call me. I have many other names too. But enough about me. Let's start with the first lesson. Peace and wisdom, R. Jr. If you're like, oh my God, he has so much ego, I hate him. I'm sick. I'm not quite there yet, you know. I'm only 50% in my glory, like in my beauty. Only 50%, don't worry. So my point is, you don't have to say like, oh my God, he thinks he's all of that. I don't, because I'm only 15%. When I'm 100%, I shine. The countenance. Yeah, that's what they call it. Salami. Now, peace and blessings. Check for those who check for you. I like that, that's groovy right there, Cat Daddy. That's a good thing to live by. And that's a good name to have. You want to have names that you want to live out, you know? You don't want to have a name like Too Much Chess. Well, I'm sorry, you know, sometimes I get carried away, but, you know, we're having fun, you dig? Now, you want to have names that you want to live out. If your name is Malcolm Little and you change it to X, so X marks the spot, X represents death, poison, many bad things. If your name is Murder or Killer, and I have a homeboy, well, I had a homeboy, rest in peace, J. Murder. But do you get my point? He died quite young. He was older than I was. He used to look out for me. I used to like to put my hands on people, so he'd always break it up. Good dude, real good dude. Now, have names that you can live by or that you want to live by. Or like you have a name that can remind you of something. So your name is check for those who check for you. And that's important. You get lost in this life. Trying to be one with society. Forgetting about those that check for you. Never checking on them. So hopefully that's what you got out of that. Now, I want to say this to black people before I begin, because a lot of you guys seek. I'm not an ego right now. This is just how I naturally am. That's no cap. I'm old, so when I'm not playing, you probably you get it. But you be like, you got ego. I'm not playing anymore. I already started. Everything I've been saying is serious. So I hope y'all grasping so far. But this is what I want to say to blacks. You know, a lot of y'all seek out your nationality. Blacks are North Americans by nationality, according to whoever made up the nationality names that we live by. Otherwise, what other race is referred to as American by nationality? Puerto Ricans are Puerto Rican. The Mexicans are Mexican. Meaning they from Mexico. Nationality has to do with place. You follow? Now, if we're the only people that's referred to as Afro-Americans, that's what it was before. African Americans, Black Americans, whatever they decide to change it to, it always Americans. You follow? In that, North America is a continent, and the states are like the countries. Just to give you a perspective, someone from Mexico would be a Mesoamerican, you know, Middle American. Someone from Brazil would be a South American, caught in the continent. But of course, they would be a Brazilian. This is their country, where they're from. If a Chinaman's visiting Brazil, you get it? He's still a Chinaman or Chinese. That's not a you have to fill me in on, you know, the wrong vernacular to use. I don't know if Chinese people get offended by Chinaman. But China's a place, and I'm talking about, you know, men and women, but, you know, so hopefully that wasn't taken an offense. Now, if a Chinaman's in America, still Chinese. There's only one race that has American as their nationality, and that's black people from North America. See how simple that was? Say, what about white Americans? They're Europeans. We already know where they come from. Just like if a Mexican is in North America, he's still a Mexican. Mexico's not in North America. In that we know he's not a North American, he's just in North America. You say, what about the black people in Europe? They North Americans in Europe. See how simple that is? You don't have to be in the place to clearly be identified. Look how easy this is. Idris Elba is from Europe. Is Idris Elba black, like North American black, or is he African? That part. I'm saying that because he's from Europe. In that, he's not in Africa or America. But I guarantee every last one of y'all would say, if Africans and North Americans are different blacks, then that boy belong with the North Americans. Now, of course, when you're dealing with Africans, the difference between them and North American blacks is we're mixed with people from England. So we're like brown little English muffins, or, you know, brown Englishmen. And an African, they're mixed with Arabs. I mean, the Arabs was invading Africa, colonizing them before whites. Think like Mansa Musa. Musa is an Arabic name for Moses, and Mansa is an Arabic title for king, meaning Mansa Musa's an Arab, or half Arabic, half Berber person. This is someone that's indigenously from North America. This is before they get civilized and, mixed bread and all that other domestication stuff. So the point, a black North American is usually mixed with an Englishman or a far north person. And an African is a black person that's usually mixed with an Arab. This is why they like Muslims and stuff. And most of us are like Christians unless we went to jail. Because you have to turn Muslim when you go to jail if you're a little soft. It's just the rules in the black culture. I heard this song. The young lady said, "My coochie is pink. My booty hole's brown." I said, that's doo. I've become aware that the young ladies in the daytimes don't wash their butt. But I'll get to that later. I'll speak on that later. I think it's called Pound Town. But I'll get to that later. Salami. That means salam, shalom, peace. Peace twice. And so the point I'm making in layman's terms, if you guys don't mind, give me some thumbs, Thumbs are always good. In layman's terms, if you black and you seek your nationality, you're a North Americaner. Simple thing to grasp. You got the Native Americans, the North Americans. The simple thing to grasp. Nationality have to do with place. So you're a North American. Now, hopefully that's clear. Now I want to discuss DJ Envy and the real estate of Rico. That's what Rick Ross calls it. Before I briefly touch on that, because this video is deeper than that, but before I touch on that, I want to say this. It's not about seeking revenge when you're done wrong. It's not about seeking someone to get punished if they do wrong by you. Meaning if somebody do you wrong or do wrong by you, you shouldn't seek for them to be punished. You should become wiser by the situation and more better in your ways, If you're fair and honest in your ways, you won't be lured into crooked things. You won't always be attracted to what you are. You crooked truly, so you gonna be lured to crookedness because of attraction. You get my point? If you a crook, and I say I got this hot TV, blah, but I'm about to let it, I'll give it to you right now, half price. You're likely to be like, shoot, let me get that. If you're not a criminal, you're more than likely to say, nah, I don't want those problems. You follow? You're going to be lured in to whatever you are, meaning whatever you vibrating on, good or bad, whatever that may be, or positivity or negativity. You're going to be attracted to it, lured in by it. And so it's best to be good in your ways so you're lured into goodness, attracted to good things. You follow? Being desperate for envy and Caesar to go to jail And the next person who come along that, F you over to go to jail, like that. How many times you gonna get fucked over before you realize it ain't even about revenge and somebody getting punished? It's about my brain starting to work. And me starting to get real with myself and say, man, ain't no goddamn shortcuts. It's like the wise man said, balance and honor. That's fair and truthful with self. Most of y'all that got caught up in that scam, you got caught up in that because you wasn't being truthful to yourself. You say, how wasn't I being truthful to myself, Silas? Because you not no business investor. You work paycheck to paycheck. How you forgot that? Some people took out loans to invest into Envy and Z's scam. If you gotta borrow to invest, right there you should know, I'm not gonna be a good business owner or investor. How you borrowing to invest in the business? That's like double debt before you even start. That's like, would you like to have dinner with Jay-Z or 500 grand? How's Jay-Z costing me 500,000 before I even got 500,000? I'll take the 5 because blood is already costing me and I'm already broke. Again, 500, I ain't even got 500, but blood already costing me and I ain't even know him. Now let me get that 5. I'm gonna go ahead and shake the dice with it because we sit down with him. Who's to say I'm gonna leave the dinner owing $4 million? But I don't know how, and I ain't even got no money. Like that. This how most of y'all is. You broke your shit talking about I'll take the dinner. Let me help some of y'all out with that conversation. You had to do with rich people, not broke people. I don't know why you thought they was talking to you. $500,000 is beyond you. Where you are currently, me too, so you don't have to take offense. Now, listen. It was a conversation for the wealthy. You already rich. You got a show lined up. You got a bunch of shows lined up. One for 500,000. Jay-Z say, I'm in town. I would love to have dinner with you. You gonna go do your $500,000 show? Or you gonna sit down with Mr. Carter? You already got money. You got shows lined up. Blood only in town for the moment. You ain't never gonna be able to see him again or sit with him and eat with him. It's for that. If you a young rapper or somebody getting money and you ever get a situation similar to that, and you know when I already got money, it ain't even about money, I already make money, I got more shows coming after this dinner. You go sit down with Mr. Carter. This will be better for you. You know why? For leverage. And say you in a business meeting. Just a rapper with gold teeth in your mouth. But you tell them white execs, It's an interesting thing, Last week I was sitting down with Mr. Carter. We were eating pasta. He was explaining things to me. And they're gonna say, oh, Jay? No, I don't like to throw names around, but I was trying to get to the point. So you got it already. You already got whatever deal you want. Now back to this Jay thing you were saying. What were y'all talking about? See, that's how life works. That's why sitting down with Jay is worth more than 500,000. Now you broke. You say I'll sit down with Jay. You all desperate, waiting for something magic to happen. The man just gonna eat, you gonna eat, and that's that. And if you got any desire for something to come out of it, nobody was talking to you. You too impoverished for the conversation. Me too, but I'm just telling you, that's what that was for. If you already got bread, go sit down with the man. You gotta know worth. It's worth in saying, I was talking to Jay the other day. You get it? Yeah, I was talking to Dame the other day. That may not have a lot of worth, but it have worth. Dame being kicked to the side of the curb right now, but his name got equal worth, but it don't. His name might get you blackballed, but you get my point? It does have equal worth in regards to works, in regards to knowing things, knowing people. Broken celebrities equal fallen stars. Salam, shalom. This has nothing to do with celebrities. This have to do with Yah being in wealthy people's business to the point where you convince yourself you're a real estate investor. You ain't. You a nigga that work paycheck to paycheck, and you need to snap into reality. Just a thought. Otherwise, you'll be scammed again and again and again, because you're not a business person, but you convinced yourself you was. Just a thought. You can't be paycheck to paycheck and be a business investor. Business take a little while to turn over a profit, but you need your money next week. That's not gonna work. You need your money in the next 2 months, but that's not gonna work. You need your money back in the next year. You don't need to be a business investor. You're gonna be borrowing from the stone before they could build a house with it. Let me get a brick here, there, right, great. They ain't gonna be able to build up the house, because every goddamn 2 days you need a stone. And so this is not to discourage y'all or make y'all feel low. It's about becoming lost into society. You become lost into society, you're gonna find yourself in debt. It's the I always say, y'all, debt or dishonor come with a debt. Usually a financial one, and an emotional problem one, and a mental problem one, because of the financial debt. Meaning envy is emotionally aggravated right now, I'm sure of it. And mentally a little bit distracted. But so this is life. Now, I'm not saying they scammed anybody or anything. I wouldn't know. We live in the times where I don't know if y'all even gave them time to turn over the return, because once y'all hear one person say something a scam, then y'all will be like, it's a scam, give me my money back. In that, you can't do that. And this is what most of y'all probably did, meaning most of y'all probably ain't got a case that invested your money. You heard somebody said it was a scam, and then you just said, I want my money back, and you forgot about like whatever y'all actual agreement was in the time frame. In that, you didn't even give them a chance to. That part. Some of y'all probably like, oh shit, I might qualify as that. Did I give them a time? And so I'll say again, it's not about somebody getting punished for doing you wrong. That do nothing for you. See, y'all say, nah, they need to go to jail. Cool, let them go to jail then. Or you could do what I said. Learn from your mistakes. Give them a time frame to pay it back. Because overall, don't y'all want y'all money back? So you let the brothers work for the next year or two. And over that time, they can, you get it? And we can go DJ, make some bread, pay 1 or 2 of y'all back. Caesar could do whatever he do for a living. In that, they learn their lesson. Y'all learn y'all lesson, because y'all gonna have to wait to get y'all shit till they flip it. But in that, Lesson learned, nobody lose nothing. They don't lose time from their family and go through all that dumb shit. And you don't truly lose out on your money. In fact, it's best you wait on it because you're too dumb to have it right now. All y'all could do what y'all want. They could just go to jail. Y'all never see that paper again and get scammed again later on down the road. Just a thought. They call me the wisest man alive because that's what I am. I know I look young. I'm really old. So if you like, I don't listen to young people. I'm not young. I'm a sex symbol, but you have to rewind the video to get the clarity on that. So I mean, now where was I at? Oh, DJ Envy, scams. Work on being honest and fair in your way. That way it's easy for you to discern crookedness. You get it? If it don't sound honest and fair, and you know, man, Envy got a DJ in the front of his name. In that I know he ain't no goddamn real estate. Even if he is, he ain't. Meaning whatever a rapper or celebrity tell you they are, they ain't. They just a celebrity. People with businesses use their celebrity, you get it, to make business. Maybe they cut them in on the business 40, 50%, 30%, 10%. Maybe they pay them up front to promote the product or the business like it's half theirs. Whatever the case is, celebrity, you don't seek wisdom from celebrities. You seek to be entertained from celebrities. Behind every celebrity is a broke person or somebody broker than they are, putting them up on game. You get my point? Finding businesses for them to be investors in and things like that. They're not the most crafty in regards to business. Most of them come from the streets before they celebrities, real humbled or poor backgrounds. In that, you know, if one is making money before they need to know how to do anything, more than likely they're not going to learn. Meaning if the celebrity is getting paid for just being a celebrity, more than likely they're not going to learn how to be a doctor, real estate agent, or anything if they already, you know, what they are. You sell dope right now. Why don't you go to college? That part, because you already making money, so you say, what's the point? I make more than a doctor. I'm supposed to go to college just to become a doctor so I can make less than I do selling keys? Yeah, if you do the math, I'll go to jail for 25 years. Just a thought. 25 years of no money is poverty. For whatever little bit of years you get it. So, kind of grasp. Now, I'm from Harlem. Well, technically, I'm from the top of the Sugar Hill. This is 164th, Edgecombe, Amsterdam, New York. Now, if you're from New York, you should know of Ellsworth, Bumpy Johnson. If you're not from New York, you got good old Bumpy Johnson. And Bumpy a good man. I don't know if he is or he isn't. He's before my time. But, you know how you say Allah Akbar? You gotta say it like that. That's just how they said it in the past. Ooh, Bumpy? Bumpy a good man. That's like his last name. I'll go with it. So you always got to say that when you mention Bumpy. It's for good measure. Now, like I said, if you're from New York, you know Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy a good man. You gotta put that in there. Now, Bumpy's a good man. But then you got old Valley. Valley's a snake. Good old Valley set up Bumpy to be killed. Set him up to Dutch Schultz. Now you can watch Hoodlum, because I know y'all ain't gonna read up on nothing or nothing. So we use Hoodlum as reference. We use Hoodlum the movie, period. Now good old Valley, he tried to set up Bumpy Johnson to get killed. He sold him out to the Dutch. Meaning Dutch Schultz paid Bumpy. Or he paid Valley to set up Bumpy to get killed. So Bumpy and the crew, they caught up to good old Valley. And this is a true story, not a movie. The good old Harlem legends. Real people, not movie stars. Regular people from the neighborhood. So Bumpy and the crew, they catch up to good old Valley. Kidnapped him or something, but they had him in a dark room. Now Bumpy tells Valley, "That's a nice ring you got on there, Valley. Did you buy that ring with that money that Dutch Schultz gave you to get me killed?" He asked him that because he wanted to see, like, did you already spend the money? Because if you did, you know, we can't reverse this thing. You can't give it back. You spent it already. So he asked him that for that. Valley just like a liar. He say, "I've been had this ring. My mama gave me this ring back in high school." Bumpy cousin, he like to aggravate Bumpy. He say, "I never saw that ring." You know how cousins are. They like to aggravate each other. Bumpy called Bear's chick Bigfoot. She know she gonna get mad at Bear, but that's what cousins do to each other. So Valley say, "My mama gave me this ring. I've been had this ring." Bear say, "Man, I never saw that ring." You know Bumpy gonna get a little aggravated because he say, "Damn, this motherfucker bought a ring with that money that Dutch gave him to get me killed." So Valley, in good old Valley fashion, he say, "Check this out, Bumpy. I'll be on the first smoker." That's what they call trains in the past. He say, "I'll be on the first smoker to Philly, Bumpy. You a good man, Bumpy. I promise I'll be on the first smoker to Philly. I would never cross you, Bumpy. You a good man." Bumpy, like I said, Bumpy a good man. He told Valley, "Don't worry about it, Cat Daddy. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't even worry about it." He walks off, because Bumpy a good man. The rest of the crew walk out too, because they like the good man that they with. Except, they ain't as good as Bumpy. So the one call him a rat. Say, "Rat!" They all walk by, good old Valley. One call him a rat. The other call him a snake. Valley sitting in that room by himself. He thought he was off the hook. Then good old Whispers walks in. Whispers is before Bumpy time. He a old schooler. Them old schools don't play. They cut Whispers' throat because he talked too much. Not rat. Just them old school niggas is tougher. So you can't even be talking to nobody, period. Once you gangster, you don't even know how to talk no more. So blew Whispers' throat. A little crackle when he talked, Whispers walks in. Valley hears the crackle. You know, his throat all ripped up. He can't really talk. Valley heard that crackle. The cup started shaking. He said, oh, shit. Because he know, man, once you see Whispers, you dead. You know, Whispers say, hey, how you doing, Valley? Yeah, just like that. No need to lose your composure. How you doing, Valley? Killed him right there on the spot. Point of the story is this. When I was growing up, I was just a little kid. I didn't even know nothing. And the older people, they said, man, fuck that nigga, Nicky Barnes. He ain't shit. Don't end up like good old Nicky. Nicky's like Valley. I said, fuck that nigga Alpo. I didn't even know who Alpo was. I said, fuck that nigga. He ain't shit, man. Don't be like Alpo. So all kids my age and older, we heard these things as a kid. In that, we knew, like, you can't end up like the dishonorable. You know, every neighborhood got a Willie Lump Lump. Say, don't end up like Willie Lump Lump. Who's Willie Lump Lump? A stupid low-life motherfucker from every area. You know what I noticed in the daytime? Y'all don't have that. Somebody that tell y'all from 4, 5 years old, hey, you know so-and-so? Yeah, don't end up like that creep. In that, you grow up with a little honor. Start there. If you my age, your neighborhood got good old Valley. Somebody is. So you get my point? They told you like they told me, wherever you from. I'm from Harlem, New York. Uptown. So I heard about like Alpo and Nicky Barnes. But you may be from somewhere else, so you heard every hood got a Nicky Barnes. Every hood got a Willie Lump Lump. And so whoever's your Willie Lump Lump, so grasp. If you young, especially if you a man, you gotta have good etiquette, self-control. In the daytime, y'all think a man is some dirty thing. Man got good etiquette. Mild-mannered. And it's cause he a man. If he ain't mild-mannered, shit gonna get real dark. So he say, I got to be cool. So it be cool like winter. Otherwise it be hot like summer. Just juice for some of y'all that don't have no man in your life. You got a male, and you know some males. Don't be talking good old men, you know, men of old, men of renown. You have to live by a moral code. You have to have family values. It's like that picture I put up of my son, and his nails is painted. Well, they not painted like a color, but his nails is manicured. His mother took him to get his nails manicured, clear polish. And it made me remember when I was younger and my mother took me to get my nails manicured. And I was asking her, like, ain't that gay? And she was like, no, because the polish clear. But more than that, she went to telling me, like, you know, ain't nothing worse than a man with dirty ass nails. Now my son's mother, she used to do my nails for me. Save a little bread. We come from humble beginnings. We come from humble beginnings. So she used to do my nails for me because she know I like, you know, I'm a man of old, good etiquette. She said, you ain't got to be looking like we like right now. So she used to do my nails for me, during the hard times when I couldn't go get them done from the good old Chinese lady. When I seen she got my son nails done, I didn't tell her to. She just did it. Sent me the pic. I said, this is how family values start. I remember my mom's did that. And it stayed with me. Keep your nails clean. Of course, if you're working in the moment, you're working. But when you're done, you make sure your nails clean. Especially if you're married. This is in respect to your wife, because you're going to be touching her. And cleanliness is next to godliness. So I said, my daughter's probably going to do that with her son at some point. Without anyone, telling her, just because they know I do that. And get it? I keep my nails clean. Like I said, I'm sick, so my nails ain't done yet. But they have a natural shine. Meaning they're not done, they all long. I didn't even cut them, but just naturally shiny like I have them done. Check those who check for you. Said my mom, Dukes and X used to do that for me. Oh, the nails thing. Yeah. So I said that's probably a family tradition that's gonna go, far beyond me. You get my point? And it's a glorious thing. Meaning, I'ma be a great grandfather and still alive. Let that sink in. I'm a grandfather right now, 41. My son, 12. But forget my son, he don't have kids yet, but even if he do, I'll still be a grandfather. My daughter's son, 20 years, he be about 23 or so. $20 I'll be 61. If he has kids, that'll be my great grand. I'll only be 61. When that great grand turn 20, I'll be 81. Let's say 25. I'll be 86. Now, like I told you, I'm gonna be living into my hundreds, so. The point, that's great grandfather. And I'll only be 81 or so. Still doing pull-ups, rape ninja-ing it, And if I go any past 80, I'll be a great grandfather, great grandfather. And see it. You get it? Meaning my great, they will see me like that many generations down will be able to say, no, I seen and got to touch and know like my great grand. You get it? Big Lucia, where all of this started. Like, all this, sex symbolism and, gloriousness. I'm a sex symbol. And not a prostitute. You'll never have sex with me like I always say, but lust. This is good. It's a part of happiness. It's a part of motivation. It's a deep thing. He said you're a Gnostic, right? Wise servant of nature. Anything you know got to do with the city in Babylon, you don't associate it with me, child. Salami. Now, back to what I was talking about. Family traditions. Why they playing me now? Family traditions. generations. You know, my grandma, before she passed, my daughter had her son. My grandmother, she seen him like in pictures and spoke to my daughter when she had it. But not meeting him, but you know, this is still good when you old, it wouldn't matter. Now that's my grandmother, so my daughter's her great granddaughter. And my grandmother handled her, meaning my daughter knows her great grandmother. You get it? She's familiar with her. And like I said, her son, well, that's his great grandmother. Because my mother's my daughter's grandmother. The point I'm making is my grandma, she passed seeing all those generations. Some people, children die. They didn't have any more than there. You get my point? Everybody's not gonna have generations. So those of y'all that do or will, it's a glorious thing. Always remember that. Some of y'all will be around to actually see those generations. Those generations knowing you, you know, deep down. The point, if you're young, you want to get old for those reasons. You understand? Y'all be desperate to die. So, this is why I say that. I know when you're thugging and bugging, being tough is everything, but becoming old is a glorious thing, you know, getting your silver stripes, because like I said, black people, we like silverbacks, you know, as we age, mature, we get our gray stripes on our head. Now, let's get to some deep lessons. Let's get to the actual title about prayer. But before I do that, I want to give you guys one more lesson. You know that's how people use the name of God in vain for whatever foolish conversations they're having that have to do with their own self, you know. You get my point? They use God's name in vain for their own personal discussions. Just blurt it out all in their conversations for no reason. Conversation not even being about God, but they'll include God, whether they say the title or, you know, Jesus. Kind of like Muslims always blabbering Allah, like, you get it? Just using the name in vain. These are not believers in God. These are people that seek public appeal and acceptance. And through God's name, they seek to get society's appeal and acceptance. You get my point? A lot of y'all are Christians. Not because you truly a believer, but for acceptance reasons. Maybe your family a Christian. Maybe you view society as Christian based. You want to be accepted. You don't want to go against. And that's your main reason for saying you're a Christian. In that, you will use Jesus' name in vain in your conversations. You know, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Or, you know, the Lord carry me. You know how y'all are. You're going through hardship, God, and all that including God in your own personal conversation for no reason. You get my point? Now, the point I'm making is this. The joke's on y'all and the religion. Legal thing. Religion is God blasphemy. Disrespecting God, calling God a man, saying he got beat up, spit on, fucking meat on a stick, things like that. And in the past, they had to force this religion on people by putting them on a cross and crucifying them. You wasn't around for those times, so let's say slavery in North America. Many black people got their balls cut off and things like that, and forced to be a Christian. You can't get true results from force and lie and secrecy, cloudy understanding. And this is what the religion offers. Just believe in all these secret, weird, strange talk and ritual. And y'all pretend y'all believe to be accepted by society. In that, the joke's on both of you guys. Like, the religious authorities, those that want it pushed on society, they forgot y'all really don't believe, because initially this was forced on people. And even now, y'all ain't got no proofs or nothing, so only a fool would think y'all really believe. But y'all say y'all do for good measure, just in case, God come back. I guess y'all believe in y'all mind y'all can actually lie to God. Be like, I really did believe, knowing you had no reason to. What do belief got to do with the truth? Belief is what you get when somebody's stretching out a lie. Belief is wait and see if I'm telling the truth. Now, you've been doing that for 2,000 years, but what do belief got to do with the truth? So you get my point? Religious people have belief systems. They forgot about this thing called truth. So they'll argue with you about their belief system, because belief is truth to them. In truth, well, they don't deal with that. They deal with lie and belief, which is the same thing, but belief is lie that haven't come. It's so deep. Lie ain't right the moment that it's said, but you get my point. Belief is how you stretch lie out and make it eternal like truth. Tell a lie person, say that's a lie. Tell them a belief, then they say, I'm either believe you or not. In that, waiting for you to give them the truth, or they just convince themselves I believed him, so it's the truth, because I believed him. This is what religious people are lost in. They have no truth within self. In that, you get my point. It's like I said in the beginnings. You're not balanced and fair in your ways, or balanced and honest in your ways, you're going to be lured in by negative things you truly don't want no parts of. And so the point I'm making overall is the religion is false, and so the members of it is false. This is why they blurt God's name in vain, even though they're told not to. This is why they wear signs and symbols, even their own religion tells them not to. This is why they do everything the religion tells them not to, because they truly not believers. And it's okay, because the religion will lie anyway. God can't die. This is why the man that's playing God, the man that get beat up and spit on, that's trying to disrespect God, God ain't a man. So to say God is a man, and the nigga parade around and get beat up and spit on and say, yeah, that's God, the son of God. This is all ancient blasphemies. You know, disrespects against God. God is the glory. You can't touch God. You can't see God. God is divine, is the divine presence. What y'all can't see, but only experience. God is the great chemist, the great mathematician. To bring the airs together. You get water, snow, but this is all like chemistry. Hydrogen airs mixed with oxygen airs get you liquid. You got all kind of liquids in life. They are a matter of unseen air chemistry. This air merged with that air gets you that liquid, so on and so forth. The point I'm making is water fall right out of thin air, but y'all never say, man, that's amazing. The creator still having math skills that potent. But the point is, God or the creator, this is the unseen. To say it is the man that got beat up is absurd, but like I said, the religion is a lie. And so the followers in it are not true. I mean, they truly don't believe. In that, you get my point? Y'all play joke on each other. The person that follow the religion pretending they follow the religion for public appeal and acceptance, and the religion forget that they forced this on people when nobody truly believed. Jokes on both of y'all. And that's how life works. Beautiful balance. The tide, the comings and goings. The pull and pull force. to learn religious things. This is prayer. I'll say it again. A lot of y'all like to say, I'm not religious. But you always asking me how to do religious things the right way. If religion is evil, as I've explained to you, then why do you seek to learn religion or its things accurately? If you're religious and you don't know how to pray, then that means your religion is full of shit. Otherwise, why do you come to me to learn how to pray? Your religion, where it come from, should have already did that. But they can't tell you how. Because talking to thin air don't mean nothing. Talking to God like he a person don't mean nothing. In fact, it's disrespectful to use words when speaking to God. Now, I don't pray. I'm speaking to you, Thomas, man. Whenever you see this, if you're here or not. I don't pray because I'm close to God. In that, I'm taken care of. And whatever I do not have, I shouldn't have. All my needs always taken care of. Say that again for some of y'all that's slow. I don't pray because I don't need to, because I'm close to God. In that, whatever I don't have is because I shouldn't have it. But in regards to my needs being met, food, clothing, and shelter, my needs are beyond met. In that, do you get it? What do I need to pray for? Whatever I want, if I'm supposed to have it, so God would have given it to me. Now, some of y'all need an example. The kid that's close to his father is taken care of without having to ask for anything. Do you have to ask your parents, hey, can you feed me? Or do they tell you it's dinner time? Come eat. Did you have to ask your parents, I need somewhere to sleep tonight? No. In regards to your needs getting met because you are close to your parent, you don't have to ask for anything. In regards to your wants, you get it? If they feel you should have it, you will. And if they say you shouldn't, you won't. And they know best. Maybe what you want, you ain't ready for. But overall, do you get my point? The kid that's close to its father don't have to pray or ask for anything that don't even make no sense. Now, if the kid is far away from the father, their father, then they may have to ask because they're not around for the father to know. You follow? Use that as an example in whatever you're seeking in prayer, where you say, how do I pray? If you gotta pray, that means you just far away from God. Other than that, when you truly one with God or close, and this having to do with balance and honor, there ain't, you get it? There's nothing I need to pray for. Pray for what? Think on that. Some of y'all ate, you got a roof over your head, and you got nice clothes. what you need to pray for. Say, well, I'm behind on my rent. You behind on your rent or whatever you behind on because you mismanaging. But this ain't a matter of prayer or bothering God in vain. You get it? And more than that, you done been through this before. The money popped up some kind of way and you didn't get fucking evicted. So you get my point? You didn't have to ask for nothing, no. If you deserving, like that. And y'all having little problems, y'all parents know y'all don't have to tell them anything. They say, what you going through, puberty or something? You get it? They already know everything. You never have to ask them or tell them anything about you. They tell you, like, you need to tell me about what I already know is wrong with you. Like that. If you God in that way. If you close to the Father, or God being that, you don't have to pray. You already taken care of. Period. The same way when you with your parents, you like, yeah, I ain't never have to ask, like, I need some new shoes. They knew. And when they get that bread up, they get them, they gonna get them. I ain't even got to do nothing about that. It ain't about, I don't, you get it? You don't have to ask or nothing. They know already. When you become closer to God, God just being a title y'all familiar with, but that's nothing. That's an imbalance thing, you know. One thing over the whole choir. This is not holy. Holy being whole. W-H-O-L-E, whole, Lord of hosts, you know, the choir. That's what holy means. The Holy Ghost. It's talking about the seminal fluid, the spirit of life. Even women start as that holy, ghostly looking substance. You know, the thick white yolk. Inside that yolk is millions and millions of sperm cells. The Lord of hosts, Holy One, meaning whole. And so we all one in that substance, meaning you as sperm and me as sperm and the next person that, you know, that's alive right now. When we was all sperm, we looked the same. Meaning when we was all seminal fluid, you know, white, yolky, putty in the hand. Well, putty in the vagina. You wouldn't be here if you was putty in the hand. But when you was like Allah said, you know, or the angel said, Allah made man from a clot, an oily drop. Speaking of that. And so we was all, you know, that oily drop. It's like I said, all life forms start as substance. A dog starts its own seminal fluid. Everything starts as its substance. But that's what holy means. Now, when you're close to God and you truly understand, you know, what that is, and the presence, like I said, God is a presence. A great mathematician. You just have to observe. You'll see the works you can't do. So you can't see God, but you can see his action, his works. Never seeing the hand doing the work. If I say, who made the hydrogen air merge with the oxygen air, so we got that rain? Y'all don't know. Say the air did it, blood magic. You don't have to see God to see the works. No, the presence is there. So like I said, if you're not close to God, then you're going to find yourself praying and doing all types of simple-minded things that make absolutely no sense. It being like the lottery for you. If you get a win, you get a win, and usually you won't. And so grasp. find your way to be thankful, for what you already have. This is how you get more. Being ungrateful is how you lose. Get it? If you're thankful when somebody does for you, it'll more than likely make them happy and they'll do for you again. If you're ungrateful when they do for you, more than likely they won't again. They'll view it as an L. So they'll say, I'll just take the L on this one, but don't ask me for shit again. That's how I thought, right? I'm going to take the L on this one, but don't you ask me for shit again. How many of y'all heard that before? Because I'll say that. Find myself saying that quite often. Quite often, but I never mind, yeah? Now, God is a deep thing. I'm not speaking of a topic or a word, but life itself and its nature. Now, Thomas Mann, Thomas Mann, he is speaking of praying for like answers. Maybe not so much for like physical things. In regards to your praying to God for answers. If you're close to God, just like the kid close to its father, the father will tell you what you need to know when you're ready, when you're mature enough to receive it. You have a father, a mother, a parent. You don't have to ask them anything. They're gonna tell you. You get it? Anything you know, you didn't know to know till they told you. It start with them telling you, not with you asking anything. You follow? Like that. When you close to God, you don't have to pray for like, you get my point? You don't have to ask for understanding on a thing. You already have understanding, which is God, because you close. And not whatever you think on, so you shall receive from the understanding. It's not a matter of one sitting around praying and hoping. It's clear. If I get a thought I never thought on before, I get the answer. Meaning if you bring up something to me that I never even thought of, I'll still be able to answer it. You get it? Understanding is with me. So I just sit with it for a second or two, maybe 3 seconds. I don't like to rush. And when I speak on whatever you speaking on, it will make crystal clear sense to you. Like that. And I don't have to sit and ask and pray and do any strange thing. Take a DMT and all this weird stuff. God is pure and cleanness. Meaning you don't need anything added to the self. This take you away from God. You know how you're fun and do what you do in life. It's not a punishment where you're not supposed to engage, and you get my point? But you're not supposed to get lost. And so do you get my point? None of the things that you use or any of the things that you engage. You like to go to the club on a weekend and drink. You like to smoke weed. You like to do DMT. None of these things have anything to do with you finding God. This is just idle time stuff. You're being curious. You're gaining experience because you have to engage to get experience. But you never need to associate these things with you becoming closer to God or finding God. When you was a baby and you was pure and didn't know shit, and you didn't have a blemish or a foul thing inside the self, you was close to God then. And so you need to be like that as an adult, meaning the awareness. Just like the baby, clean and innocent in your ways. But the baby don't have an awareness to know right from wrong, what to do. You need to be like the baby now with an awareness to know right from wrong. Moderation, things like that. Moderation is, fair share. You see how y'all try to like put the kids on diets and things now? And all the kids now is fat and y'all can't see y'all playing with diets is how that happened. Because when I was growing up, nobody played with kids and they diet. In that, all kids was skinny with big heads. But in the daytime, y'all are fat. But y'all are the most food healthy conscious of all the generations before y'all. But the most sick. That part you can't see. Like, if we knew what we was talking so much, why are we fucked up? What you gonna blame it on the generation before you? We didn't have the problem y'all do, and y'all don't listen to us. So how we do that? Like that. The diet for kids is their fair share of play, fair share of work. Again, the diet for a kid is play, physical action play. And that will take care of everything with the kid. You get it? Kids just need play. They don't need medicine or anything. Just play. Kids get sick, then they hear their friends out the window and they say, I'm better. They sound like he about to die. I'm better. Want to go play. Even though he's sick about to die. Go let him play. He's gonna get all the other kids sick, but he gonna be better. Laughter play using the self. This is self. You follow? And so when you're dealing with your kids, don't get so lost into robbing their childhood from them, beating them down with health things that have nothing to do with them right now. They're not sick. You get my point? They're evolving into adulthood. You follow? Some of y'all was fat as a kid. You just naturally slimmed the hell up as you got older. It's just how it worked. Your baby fat was just... It lasted until your teens. Then you just naturally slimmed up. A nice build now. Like that. You can't say like how they gonna turn out. In regards to candy and junk food and all that, well, they gonna lose those teeth, so you let them have their fun while they can. And as them new teeth grow in, then you get it, they learn. You see how them old teeth fell out, these ones ain't gonna grow back like those. So you got to make these ones last. You got to be moderate on the candy you eat and the junk food you eat. But you can engage. Just be balanced. Make sure you're getting real food consistently every day. At least 2 or 3 times a day. And then, some days have your fun with your junk food. Balance it out all in the same day, whatever the case may be. But you make sure you're getting your vegetables, your fruits, your nuts. Well-rounded diet. Again, how many of y'all eat nuts at least once or twice a week? You eat fruit at least once or twice a week. You eat starches at least once or twice a week. You eat meat at least once or twice a week. You get it? Some of y'all are missing some of these things in your diet. Meaning you rarely get it. And so when you're dealing with diet, it truly starts with flushing all substances. Most of y'all get lost on food, but you're not hydrated enough. Meaning you don't drink close to a gallon of liquid every day. And if you do, it's probably coffee. So who cares if you eat vegetables all day? Like that. You want to get a gallon of water and if you can. But of course water don't taste like nothing. We like other things. So at least try to get close to a gallon of that in you. And you'll be alright. Now I have to use the restroom. If any of you guys want to get back, you can do so now. Give me a quick second. Okay, let's wrap this up. Hopefully you guys learned some jewels. Oh shit. I didn't mean to say shit, that slipped out. I'm working on my etiquette. It's cute and shit like that. Sex, I don't care what you say. Everybody don't have sex with me. I'm not talking to dudes though. Now, lesson on authority. This is for those of y'all that are young. The young people are this generation. The generation being a time. So those lost into fitting in with the times. Of course, those of y'all that's from these times, y'all kind of have no choice but to be lost into y'all own times until y'all learn about, times preceding y'all. That's before, right? That's it. The point I'm making is this. Y'all have excess of grief and anger, despair, Because y'all do not understand the laws of nature. Now you have a thing called authority. Example, y'all will watch YouTube, this show, that show, anything. You may see someone tell someone to be humbled. Y'all mimic whatever y'all see in society. You follow? In that you say, you may see someone doing what you seen the person that was told to be humble doing. So you tell them, be humble, because you're mimicking what you seen. But you do not understand authority. You do not understand that the person that was telling the person you seem to be humble, more than likely they had an authority over them. In that, when they told them that, they can do that. It's like your boss or your parent. They have an authority over you. In that, they can tell you to be humble. It ain't much you could do about it, but be humble. But now imagine a kid or the worker tell the parent or the boss to be humble. Slapped and fired. Why? Because you're out of pocket. You follow? You actually would be the one with the ego. Now imagine you the kid or the worker who do not understand that. So you telling your mama and daddy, be humble. People they age range all at. The other person they all at work telling the boss, be humble. You follow? And thinking they're right. And seeing someone else do it. They don't understand humility. They think it's an honorable thing. The style of the time. They don't understand it's a status thing. In that, y'all like the kid telling the parent to be humble or the worker telling the boss to be humble. Not realizing you're lost in your ego. Worse than that, you're making a fool of yourself. There's a thing called authority. You have to know your place so you know if you're right. You get it? A lot of y'all like to say that to me. Be humble. You not my age. You can't tell me anything. You get my point? You can't tell me to be humble. I could tell you to be humble. Let's say you a little kid. You say you ain't my authority. All adults is all little kids' authority. When the parent ain't around, I can't see no parent not being present, but another parent is. And that parent just let their kid get did anyway or do anything. They gonna say, damn, you was the parent, brother. In that, you know, in life, all adults is an authority over all kids, even if it ain't theirs. It's just a matter if the parent is present. Now, you might be a kid. You say, I don't like how that sound. Cool. When the cops is beating you up and roughing you up, and your precious mama ain't home because she working to make sure you get fed, but maybe I'm around. So I say, hold on, I know this young man, I'm his authority. His mama ain't home, but I'm watching him. What he did, let him go. And because they see I'm gray and old, and they may be 26, 27, 35, they say, all right, sir, I'm going to let him go. You a little older than I am. You say you watching him. He did this, that. We going to release him to you. Get him to his mother. Now, as the little boy, you want me to be your authority or not when your mother not present? Meaning everything got both sides of it. When you want to do whatever dumb thing you want and talk to people however you want, who older than you, then you see it your way, you get mad, you say that ain't fair. Why I can't say Solid's got ego? Some of y'all like, why can't I speak my mind to your parent and shit like that? You don't understand authority. In that you think you right. Because of that, you have a whole bunch of excess of grief and despair. Because you think you have a point and you don't. Let's say you were kids. You say, I don't think my parents give me enough. You out of pocket because you ain't the parent. And because you think you are. That's why you got all the despair and built up anger you do. Some of y'all grown now, but you thought you was grown before you was. You trying to tell your parents what they should have did and how they should have raised you. But you should have been a parent then. Now you got all this despair and anger because you think you got a point, but you don't. That part. And so you got adults and kids that's lost in the times, meaning they don't have any morals. They don't understand authority and the benefits of it and the aggravations of it, but overall, it's a benefit. And so when the mind is not clear, meaning if you lose your balance or lose your place, you're going to put grief upon yourself. Same way if you slipped and lost your balance. The point I'm making is if your perspective is in order, your emotional state will always be in order. And that your mind will always be clear and in order. Most of y'all are carrying around despair and anger and you are not right in your perspective. You lost your place. This has nothing to do with me. And y'all saying I have ego, I wouldn't care. But I was just using that as an example. Overall, this have to do with y'all and y'all own authorities that's actually in y'all lives, y'all parents, and it goes, on and on. You might got a boss, say I don't like my boss, pay you. Your authority. You say I don't like that. That's why you got all that excess despair and built up anger because you don't understand authority. You pay your boss or he pay you. So why he need to listen to you? What sense that make? Why he ain't just thankful you got a job, respectful to your boss and kind to him or her, so they more likely be that way with you. You do your job, don't get lost into society. That's all the dumb shit happening at work. And you come do your job, that part. You be good with your boss. See how simple everything is? If you don't want to have shit in life and lose everything, you're lost into society. Whether you at the workplace, chilling on a project bench, chilling on the stoop in the neighborhood, on the corner, the Ivy League school, wherever you find yourself. If you blend in with the crowd, that part, you basically lost into society, you gonna be there. That part. But if there's some separation between you and society, meaning you show up to do whatever's required of you in whatever the environment is, and you stay away from all that excess BS that ain't got nothing to do with you doing what you came for, you're going to advance in whatever you do. So, when Tupac come to the studio, he come there, he busting out raps, he came to do what he came there for. And Snoop and them bullshitting around, smoking weed, acting like they can't multitask. And so do you get my point? Do you see the difference in the results? Do you see how Suge like Pac more than them all, but Suge's the boss. Why you think he like Pac more than them all? Say, I ain't got to worry about Pac, cause he in the studio making this money for us. And I'm out here setting up these deals for this money he gonna be making for us. And so if you find yourself as the worker, not the boss in the environment, just remember that. The boss, I'm the worker. As long as I do what I came here for, and my concern need be the boss, not blending in with the goofy fucking workers that get paid from the boss with me. I call you a teacher's pet, the boss pet. Who cares, nigga? You don't do nothing for me. I wouldn't even know you if we wasn't employees together. The boss hired me. I never seen you, nigga, till after the boss hired me. My loyalty to the boss. End the story. I come to do my work and go home to my family with my real loyalty lie. And that should be a perspective. With that perspective, less despair, less built-up anger. Clear perspective. So, there's your lesson on authority if you're young. Don't get too ahead of yourself and don't get too lost into the things you see and hear in society. Know what you're seeing and hearing. Know what you're talking about. Most of all, when you're talking about humility, humility is the pinnacles of ego, not the opposite of ego. It's the top of ego. The end of the road of ego. If you lost, only one who is at the pinnacles of their ego are in the rising ego. Remember, ego is a status, so is humility. Only the person rising in their ego or one with ego can be humble. You get it? If I got more authority than you, I'm the boss, you the worker, you curse me out. If I blow it off and say, you go work, I ain't going back and forth with you. I could fire you, do whatever I want with you, but I'm gonna let you have that. You get it? That's an act of humility. Meaning when one has an authority or a power over another person. And that person is, you get it? Challenging their authority. For them to give you a pass, this is humbled. You follow? The lesser thing can't be humble. They don't have no choice. You follow? You can only be humble if you have ego. Humility is a choice. If you ain't got no power, no authority, you ain't got no choice but to be humble. So who can truly say you are? You haven't gotten any ego or authority yet for one to challenge to see if you humble. So I'll say again, humility is at the ends or the pinnacles of ego. When one reaches the tops of their ego. Still having empathy. Still seeing themselves as equal to what is beneath them. Say that don't sound right. It sounds perfectly right. You was beneath your parent when they was teaching you how to ride a bike. They don't have to teach you shit. You a lesson. You got money? That's my parents though. That part. They still don't have to do it. That part. Say that ain't right though. You belong to the parent. You come from the parent. They own you. You they property. However they say they choose to deal with you is how they say. And all you can do is wait till you an adult and deal with yourself how you want. You view that as not right. So do you get my point? You have despair and a whole bunch of excess animosity and things like that because you do not want to respect the laws of nature. This have nothing to do with society. If y'all was out in the wild, y'all would grasp that. If your mama say I'm killing this nigga right now, out in nature, well, what would happen to her? Nothing. All things around understand that's ours. There ain't no judge or cop to go get. That's her property. She can do what she choose. She can eat it if she wants. It's not my place to have a perspective or opinion. It's hers. This is why in the Bible when Abraham was going to kill Isaac and eating, if you lost, it had to do with eating. That's why he built an altar. That's an old school stove, you know, like if you out in the wild. And this is why they say right before he killed Isaac, a ram came by and he killed the ram instead to let you know this had to do with eating. This is a time before stores, so he was starving. He gonna eat his son. But then the ram came by, so he said, I'm gonna eat that instead. Of course, like I always explain to y'all, God is the hunger that y'all feel. Well, that ain't God, that's the devil. But the devil is the God in religion, so they worshiping the hunger. And this is why y'all God is the lamb. So Jesus Christ is my lamb. We greedy now. Yeah. Old school food eating shit. It's funny to me because I know this, but I guess to y'all it ain't. Y'all lost some religion. But everything I just said is 100% true. The point I'm making is this. Overall, it is good you rise in your ego. Reaching a place where you're humbled. So everything boils down to experience, meaning you need to have practice with your ego, which most of y'all have over the years. Y'all rise in y'all ego, then y'all fall, or get showed that y'all ego is fake. You get it? But when it get real, then you will grasp Solace is right. When I reach the heights of my ego, so I will be humble. Like the parent, when they say, oh, you think you grown, take your ass to your room, because if I get the fuck up, you gonna get your ass whooped bad. Like that. The parent could have got up and dusted the kid off. The kid just talked to the parent like they was grown. The parent laughed it off and said, I was, ooh, that boy don't know. Ooh, that girl don't know. But I was young before. Now the parent got ego. The parent the authority. You better know the parent got ego in this situation. Meaning they could beat that kid ass and that'd be that. But they say like, that's my kid. I've been my kid for years. Meaning I've been the big ego in this thing for years. So in that, it ain't nothing in it for me dusting you off. But you get it? Like that. When you get so high in your ego, that is truth. And doubtless, full confidence. Y'all desperate to compete, but truly not compete. Because y'all haven't reached the pinnacles of y'all ego where y'all say, I gotta prove nothing to you. I already know, you get it? That you know you can't beat me. It's like I say I'm the wisest man alive. Some of y'all say, man, I'll beat you in a debate. I'm wiser than you. I don't believe that you believe that. So I say I got 10 grand on it just to make it a little better. Because that's how much I really just don't believe that you believe you wiser than me. This ain't got to do with if I think I'm wiser than you. I already said I'm the wisest man alive. But I don't think you believe you are. If you step up and lose, then that means you didn't truly believe. Because you can't lose if you truly believe. How's that possible? Y'all can't beat me in no debate, nobody. You know why? I just don't believe y'all can. Then aside from that, as far as I know, I'm the wisest man alive. That ain't no joke to me. Ain't nobody gonna challenge it. Y'all don't truly believe y'all are wiser than me. Like that. But I'm humble. Because I come teach y'all every day. Even though y'all get on my nerves on it and actually act like y'all believe y'all of equal measure and wisdom. Y'all come in here challenging me and shit. But I already know you don't believe you wiser than me. You wouldn't stand on it. You wouldn't bet everything you got right now on it. We debate on anything you want. I bet my life. You say, get two niggas stand on the side of me with a shotgun. I'm agreeing if I lose, they can go ahead and whack me. I'm not going to lose. I'm not even worrying about it. It's just like my footwork. Nobody got better footwork than me unless you a goddamn kung fu master from 1916. You say, I do. I don't believe you believe that. But I got money to bet on it if you see. Like that. When y'all get there where y'all sure of self because of the work you put in, to where you know, like, I know I do the extras. Like that. And whoever you looking at, you know if they don't. And that you don't play with yourself on it. You ain't better than me in whatever this is we speaking of. In that, you may give them a pass and say, you're not on my level, but, you know, have your fun. Meaning, that would be the humble response. I ain't gonna beat you in whatever it is, cause, you get it? Let you believe in yourself and let it build up, and you get my point? No need to bust you down yet. Like that. When you reach the pinnacles of your ego and you got complete confidence, some things you gonna just blow off. Like, you may have the authority to do whatever you want. You may have the authority. You may could just challenge them in whatever they speaking on and dust them off, but you don't. You say, you get it? I'm gonna let them have that. Because there's truly nothing in it for me to dust them off anyway. And so it's better they get better and better and better. And then maybe one day. You get it? The point I'm making is humility is only somebody at the pinnacles of their ego can have. Because humility is a choice. And so, understand humility and ego the right way. Nothing in life is against y'all. Everything is here working with y'all. You have to learn that. And that you can learn to let go, so you stop working against yourself or working what is already working for you in your favor. You don't know what you need. Say, yes, I do. Well, why that last relationship ain't work out if you know so goddamn much that you need? Like, sometimes you need a little hardship. Sometimes you need a little good times. The life know what you need. This all got to do with your becoming ripe. You get it? You need a little pressure, and then you need a little break from that pressure. But life is precious. Because y'all view it as life supposed to be a cupcake walk in the park, you don't respect the precious, which is the growth. Now the hardships y'all go through, little turmoil y'all have, arguments, this, that, this is all practice for you to overcome or conquer these things. It's not about you killing your enemies. It's about you conquering them. Y'all friends now. You killed them with kindness, or you killed them with something glorious to make them say, I don't want to be your enemy no more. I'd rather be your friend. You get it? That's true conquering or transcending. You get to a place where you can make all the people that hate you and don't like you are your enemies, your friend. So you fulfill the glory. You can kill them, but nothing glorious about that. Ain't no effort in that. And so you get it? You go through what you go through so you slowly can learn. The ego raise. And then it get brought down. As long as it don't break, that's all that matters. And when it get brought down, it's truly not being brought down, but the ego is just high, so you get it? It feels low, but the ego still wherever it raised to. And if the person grasps that, when they fall off their little high horse, then they get right back on it. Being back on that horse now with a little humility, a little empathy, a little experience and understanding. You get it? And then you raise and get lost in the ego, fall again, but you're really not falling. You're just high up, so you get it? You feel low, but you still wherever you was in your ego. As long as it's not broken, you get back on your high horse, and you keep ascending in your ego until you reach the pinnacles of it, where you just have no desire to compete with nobody. You're confident and assured in yourself. You're competing with nobody don't make you no better. You get it? Your works is your works, and that's that. The people lives you affected, the people you saved, this is your works. I was telling my mother today, because I don't think she ever realized it, but I was telling her, like, you know you saved your little sister's life. My aunt, in her younger days, she was lost in the streets. She was on drugs. You know, when a person on drugs, family don't want to, you know. When you lost out there on drugs bad, it's hard to get help, because it's hard for somebody to let a drug addict live with them. So you do get that help. So you get it? My aunt was doing pretty bad. Me and my mother was living in Atlanta. So my grandma telling my mother, like, you know, your sister ain't gonna make it out here if, you know, somebody don't let her come stay with them and she get a new environment. If she just stay out here, she going a little deep in, you know, to that hole. Now, of course, the whole family, they said, nah, we can't do nothing. She too far gone, blah. Fuck around and come down here, I won't have shit. She was getting a little bad. My mom's let her come. You know, my aunt, she got 4 kids. The youngest one at that time, she wasn't doing too good. You know, she was 1 year old, but she wasn't walking or nothing. Talking, making no sound. She was kind of like dead. So my mom's told her, bring you and the girl could come. And my grandmother held on to the boys. So my grandmother and my mother, you get it? They worked together. My grandmother kept the boys for like a year or so, or 6 months. And my mother said, send my sister and her daughter, because they was the ones in the worst shape, The point is, my aunt got her life together. Because of that, she not on drugs or nothing. She a preacher. I was telling my mother, that's your work. That's your blessing. You get it? It ain't a bunch of people in life that could say, I saved somebody's life. I'm positive my aunt would have been dead. Her friend died in 2006 from overdose. She was way further gone than her friend that died. You get it? Meaning she wouldn't be here right now. My aunt, she'd be dead. And so I was telling my mother, you blessed, you just don't see it. You saved a life. And so some of y'all may be like that, some of y'all may not be here, but everybody got their works. It's not about you competing against somebody. You get it? My mother can't compete. That don't have, her saving a life ain't have nothing to do with a competition. It had to do with her doing what need to be done. You get it? Meaning who you are don't boil you down to who you compete against, and you get it? And win. Who you are boil you down to your deeds and your actions. When you get old, you look back, you say, man, I saved a lot of people. Whether they know it or not, it's still your works. You follow? And so a lot of y'all need to start becoming aware of those things. Your actual works, not who you beating in the thing. And so when you raise to the pinnacles of your ego, blossoming into your humility, your humble self, because this is at the end of the roads of ego. Humility is not a below thing. It is in terms of status, like I said, that authority thing. But in terms of you as a person growing and becoming greater and greater, mentally and emotionally, you get my point? When you reach the pinnacles of ego, you should go into a humility. Meaning the pinnacles of ego should be a humility, where you have no desire to, compete in these things or whatever the case may be. You do as you do, and you get it? Whatever the works is glorious. It can't be competed with anyway, so it wouldn't matter. You follow? And you just do as you do. Help who you can, and humble. No need for excess. Always making good use of your idle time. Now I'm parched. I thirst.